So this is what we have seen yesterday, like the starting about Spring Boot, what it is, why we use it, what is the difference between Spring and Spring Boot, and these are the three ways of creating this Spring Boot project. Then we have seen how to create a Spring Boot project using the Spring Initializer website, which is the main website of Spring Boot. These were the steps. I hope you are done with this. Done? Working? Okay, sure. So I'll open the project as well, and then we will start today's discussion. So this is what we did yesterday. Uh, First Spring Boot application. This was the project that we generated using Spring Initializer website. Just get it, let load first. Within that project, we created these two classes, a student class with two private methods, private int id, private string name. And one was another method, that is address method, which we said as auto wired, and address class was having house number and street. Now, in this entire scenario, we have marked both the classes as component. This student class is also a component. This address class is also a component. And this is our main class in which we are creating application context container. And then we are saying spring application dot run first spring boot application dot class. So we will try to do these things. And then we created a bean for address, and then one bean for student. And then as student is having dependency injection of this address, means auto wired, so the value of address was getting fit into the student automatically. Now we will try to run the application again. In that we will see that there is a address A with house number as 301, street as road number 2 KPHB, and then student with the ID 12, name as Shivam. Now we will try to run it and see. So here we are getting the values that 12 is the student ID, Shivam is the student name, this is the house number, and this is the street. Now, in this particular project, we have not created any container anywhere. This is just a normal class which is having two different things. First as one annotation Spring Boot application and another one as this method Spring application dot run, right? Spring application dot run. Are you facing any problem while generating a project from website? If you are facing any problem, we can have a revision over that. Like we will quickly see if you are getting it. Generally, there will be no problem because generating a project from website is the best source. Like best. No, not even a single problem will be there if you are generating your project from there. First, Spring Boot. Now, there might be one section in your Eclipse. I will tell you. Let it get load first. So when you are opening your pom.xml file, see my pom.xml file is looking very good. There is no error. It is possible that it might be showing you some errors, some red lines. It can show somewhere. The first possible error is this, that you will see a error in the after XML. So the reason for this error is by default XML files are built like there will be no empty line. So you can see this first line is empty and your actual tag is starting from second line. First error is this. So you can just hit the backspace button. Now we came to first line, no error. So hopefully it will solve all your errors. Like this, if it is, you will get error. If it is on first line, you will not get any error. Just a case, even after doing this thing, you are facing some error and it is showing something like, if it is showing you something like message like this, downloading external source is disabled. If this is the part that downloading external source is disabled, in that case, you have to right click on your project and you will see one option as Maven. Below here, you will see one option as Maven. In that, there is an option as download Java doc. Click on this. Once it is done, your error will be resolved. If you are getting this error, application failed to start, port 8080 is already in use. If this is your error, yesterday only I discussed about this error. Now if I'm running my project, let's say I will run my project. So Spring logo is coming and I also got the same error. That application failed to start, web server failed to start, port 8080 was already in use. The reason is your project is already running. At first you have to close it. You can see it here. Here it is running. So at first you should close it. Now it is shut down. So it will show some errors after that, or it can show you a shutdown message. Now we will start the application again. Now we are getting the output. So this is what we did yesterday. Today we are going to see this container spring application dot run. We will see at very last, not now, right? We will see this thing at last. There are three methods of creating Spring Boot project. At first, we will see all the three methods. While doing all the three methods, you will get to know about this particular part. So no need to worry. So closing it and creating a Spring Boot project with STS Wizard IDE or plugin. IDE or plugin. You know, this website that I gave you yesterday, start.spring.io, is the main website of Spring Boot project. So whatever project you are creating will be using this website internally. So the next part that we are going to discuss is this: creating a Spring Boot project using STS IDE. You can use IDE or you can use STS Wizard plugin. This is the same thing, STS Wizard plugin. Guys, what is this? Like, still I am writing the things. We should wait. I will already tell you what is the meaning of STS. It is Spring Tool Suite. What it is? Spring Tool Suite. So this is like Eclipse only. What it is like completely Eclipse only, or you can say a carbon copy of Eclipse. When you are opening it, it will give you a UI exactly like Eclipse. But this IDE is particularly designed for Spring application development. Spring application development. So in companies, which IDE is used? IntelliJ, Eclipse, or STS. These are like same only, not too much difference. So either you can download STS, but it is a quite heavy software, I believe. So you should not go with it because it will take a lot of time to download, install, and because it is like Eclipse only. So what we will do, we will use STS, which is Spring Tool Suite plugin in our Eclipse. Now, what is a plugin? How we can define a plugin? A plugin can be defined as a small tool or software which is injected or which is embedded with our main software to increase its capability. To increase its capability. I will show you one example for this. This is Microsoft Edge. This is a browser. I will open Chrome here. And this is also a browser. This Chrome browser I use for professional use. When I'm doing something professionally, I'm uploading notes, I'm creating notes. And this Microsoft Edge I use for my personal use. Let's say if talk about my personal thing. So it is here. Now I will open one website, same website in Edge and same website in Chrome. So this is the website, and here you can check that you can apply to lot of things. You can talk about the forms and all like that. So in that case, I will open the same website here in my Edge browser. This is my personal browser that I use for my personal one. So are you seeing any difference? Here, if you check it, I'll open it again. So the same website is opened here. Now you can see New Delhi to Hyderabad means a ad is coming. Here one ad is coming. If you scroll down, you will see more ads. So here we got one more ad and it scroll down, no ad. You refresh it again, you will get ads. So again, we are getting different ad, but here we are not getting a single ad, right? Here we are not getting any single ad, even not this website. I can open YouTube here and you can play YouTube for 100 hours without YouTube premium. Not even a single ad will come. You can play it for 10 hours continuously. But how two browsers are acting differently? Because in my Microsoft Edge browser, which I use for my personal work, I have installed or embedded or downloaded one plugin which is increasing the capability of my browser. But in Chrome, as it is for professional use and I don't use it too much, I only use Chrome for uploading notes and all. So I am just chill for 2 minutes. Why should I do that? Now, if you want to download that, if you are getting a question that what is that plugin name and what is that, so that we are also not getting the ad. So the plugin name is uBlock Origin. It is supported by every browser, even Chrome also. But I don't use Chrome for my personal work. That's why I have not installed it here. Now you just have to search uBlock Origin and go to any, either you can go to Chrome web store or the official website. So now I will go to this and just add to Chrome. Okay, so on Chrome it is not available. Go back. You can go to their website and just get uBlock Origin. Okay, here it is not available now. uBlock Origin. Now this is available. So you can just click add to Chrome and it will block the ads coming to your system. Uh, Wait a minute, I will show you. It is getting downloaded. So now this is the section which will show you the plugins. So in my Chrome browser, now you can see these two plugins. First is React Developer Tools that I use for teaching React, and second one is uBlock Origin Lite. What will be the effect of this? Let's try to open the same website again here. Now we are inside the Chrome, right? And Chrome also is not showing any ad now. You can open YouTube also, no ads. So that is very small software, very small, 10 MB. And that 10 MB tool or software has increased yeah, it is very safe for browsers. It don't track you. I'm using it from last 6 years. So it's very safe. Unless and until you are doing any illegal thing, that is different. But if you are good at your part, then it is good. So I will not, I will just delete it from here because already I am using it with Edge. Plugin. Understood plugin? It's a normal software which will increase the capability of your system. So STS is a IDE where you can directly create a Spring Boot project without going to the website. But we don't want to download the STS IDE. So what we will do, we don't want to install STS IDE. Any your reason can be anything. Maybe your system is very old, or it is memory already filled, or you are habituated to Eclipse. Anything. We don't want to install STS IDE, so we can install plugin. We can install plugin of STS Wizard to increase the capability of our Eclipse. What capability will get increased? Normally, our Eclipse is not able to create a Spring Boot project, but after installing the plugin of STS Wizard, our Eclipse IDE will be able to create Spring Boot project without going to website. Without going to website. Same is with IntelliJ also. IntelliJ directly can't create, but after installing the STS plugin, you can. But most of you, like all of you, are familiar to Eclipse, so I'm not going to IntelliJ. In the meantime, somewhat in between, I will teach you that. But if you are familiar with Eclipse, I will not break it. Now, what are the steps of doing that? So let's see. So at first we need to install the plugin, right? So same thing. At first we need to install the plugin for STS Wizard. Now for that, the heading is creating a Spring Boot project with STS Wizard. So this is the heading for now. So at first we need to install the plugin for STS Wizard. For that, these are the steps. This is your Eclipse is visible here. Same part will be coming for you also. In that, you will see this help section. Is it visible? In the top nav bar or the toolbar, you are seeing this help section. Click on help. After that, you will see something as install new software. Is it visible? Visible again. You have to click on help. Then you have to click on install new software because we need to install new software, tool or plugin. So click on this install new software. I'm mentioning the same thing there as well, that go to, at first you have to go to help and then you have to go to install new software. And here you are seeing these kind of things. It is showing that available software, or select a site or enter the location of site. Now it is telling you that you have to tell us from where you are installing the plugin. So if you check here, lot of websites are available. lots are available, right? You are seeing lot of them. In that, if you check from top, all site available site, so you can select this one, all available site. Now how many sites are available? Eclipse will detect all of them, so it might take some time while detecting. By the way, I have already installed the plugin, so it might look different for me, but I will tell you all the steps. So you will get like this. After selecting this all available site, you will get like this. Now inside this search bar, you search for spring, search for just wait, my system is lagging now. Hold on a minute. Or if there is second method, if your Eclipse version is greater than 22, means generally Eclipse version will come like this, Z2024-09. So if your version is greater than 22, means you are not using the previous version than 22. So there is a second method for that. I will tell that method only because no one is using 1121 now. So you go to help and you will see Eclipse Marketplace, right? If your version is less than 21, then go to install new software. Most of you will be on greater than 22, 21. So go to Eclipse Marketplace. So instead of install new software, go to Eclipse Marketplace. Once you are going to Eclipse Marketplace, it will load something like this. So just get this green progress bar completed. After that, we will search. So there will be two options. One is this one, right? In the marketplace, one is this one. This is for OBO marketplace, but you don't have to go with OBO marketplace. You have to go with Eclipse marketplace. This one. So once you are here, just search Spring Tool Suite. And this is the search button, very small search button. Just click on search. So you will get this one, Spring Tools, aka Spring Tool Suite 4.29.1 releases. It is showing already installed for me, right? Let me tell you what you will get instead of this. So at first, this is how it will come. Go to help and then Eclipse Marketplace. In the search box, in the search box, type Spring Tool Suite. After that, this pop-up will come, right? You have to search for this one only, Spring Tools, aka Spring Tool Suite. And in the next very step, install the first visible, or not first visible, because you might get it on second place also. So install the Spring Tools, aka Spring Tool Suite 4.29 version. As it is already installed for me, so it is showing installed. For you, you will get a install option like this. Let's say there is one plugin here. I will show you by downloading any other plugin. Let's say this one. So when you are clicking on install, so you will get like this, and it will consume some of your internet. Okay. So make sure that you have a proper internet connection at that time, and let it get complete. In between, it will ask you for clicking yes, 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 like that. Don't just say by clicking on install button it will get installed. No, it might ask you for some permissions. So like this, it will give. Now this, just confirm, and just like that you can do. Okay. Once you install the plugin, close your Eclipse, close your Eclipse IDE and restart it. Because when you are installing a plugin, tool or software, basically you have to restart. After restarting it, if you are not getting marketplace in help section, that is also possible that you will not get marketplace in help section. In that case, again go to the help section and you will see this option, check for updates. Click on this. After clicking on this, let it get open. Or else it is taking time. You have to download Eclipse IDE again, and I will show you. Just type download Eclipse. So by simply going to this website and clicking it here, you can download it. So once downloading, you will get something like this one. In that case, when you are installing the IDE, so you will get options. You will get options like this: Eclipse IDE for Java developers. Generally, your IDE is installed by selecting this option. So if you have installed IDE by selecting this option, you will not get marketplace option. You will get second option, Eclipse IDE for enterprise Java and web developers. You have to select this one, Eclipse IDE for enterprise Java and web developers. If you are installing Eclipse again, if you are not installing Eclipse again, then you can just check for update and update it here itself. It is taking time. At first it came, but next day didn't came. That option will come in the first day only. At the time of installation only it will come. That for Java developers or enterprise Java and web developers, this option will come only first day when you are installing it. After that, it will not come, right? So you have to select the second option. No problem, you can reinstall it. Oh God, it is taking time. Let's try to close it. So after doing the installation of the STS Wizard plugin, manage it. If you are getting some error, you can drop me on the message. After that, you should restart your IDE. Now, while you are restarting your IDE, click on File and click on New. Generally, we used to get options like Java project, Maven project, empty project, but I am getting one more option, that is Spring Starter project. I am getting this one option. Is it visible from top back side? Visible? So here I am getting one option as Spring Starter project. Now it is possible that you will not get it here. In that case, what you will do? Now I will write it. For creating the project, for creating the project. Now I will mention the step. Go to File. After going to File, go to New. After going to New, go to Others. Again I am showing File, New and Others. So go to Eclipse, File, New, and at last you are seeing this other section. Go there. Now you will come to this particular wizard, this one. This one, right? After going to Others, you will see this wizard. In this wizard, there is a search option, right? There is a search option. In this search option, what you have to do, search for Spring Starter project. So here I will type Spring Starter project and I got it already. So you can search it like this, Spring Starter project, and this will come. This screenshot also I will give. Right, like this you will get. Now you can select this part and click on next. After clicking on next, you will get a same pop-up like this, right? And now this pop-up is the replica of your Spring website. Replica means if you see from the top, what is written there? Service URL. That this plugin is giving you service, but which website it is using? It is itself using start.spring.io. Means now you don't have to go to website, that is start.spring.io. This plugin will go for you. You just do the things here itself. Now after this part, what you have to do, click next. Click next. After clicking the next, you will get one portal or you will get one pop-up to write the project details. And project details are like same last time. Name, project name you have to write. Project name I will write as Second Spring Boot. Project name I will write as Second Spring Boot. You can use the default location. The project is getting created inside SBMS folder, and that's what I need. So it is already using my default location. Fine. Project type as which one we were using last time? Maven. So this time also we will go with Maven. Packaging, last time we were using jar, so I will go with jar. Java version we were using 21, so I will select 21. Language, Java, obviously. Group ID is coming as com.example, but I will keep my group ID as com.spring boot. And pro package, this package also I will keep as com.spring boot. Both I will keep as same. You can keep different, but try to keep same. After that, do the configuration like this. Here configuration are like the website only that we did on website. So don't worry too much about it. So you can do the configurations like this. After doing the configurations, click next. We were doing one more configuration of adding the dependencies, right? In the website of Spring, where we have added the dependency of Spring Web, but it is not giving us any option. So you can click on next. So click on next. Now new Spring Starter project dependencies. So now this is a part where you can select dependencies for you. So here you can search for Spring Web, and it is coming here Spring Web. So just select this Spring Web and finish. Search for Spring Web dependency and add it. Click on finish. So this is how we create second. It will take time, a minute, depending upon your internet and your machine speed. So here we got second Spring Boot project, in which in bracket it is written as boot. As you are using STS plugin now, you will not get zip file. Directly you will get project here. So you don't have to extract, cut, paste, nothing. Just open this and same thing like previously you will get. Same thing like previously. Open src main java com.spring boot we are getting here. Again second Spring Boot application, and this is also coming with the same command, that is Spring application dot run second Spring Boot application dot class args. So it is also coming like that. Let's try to run the application. So I will just click the run button, selecting Spring Boot app and run. In the last step, open the main file and run it. So here it is telling that port 8080 was already in use, but where? In the last project. In the last project, we were using port 8080. So let's first open the previous project and I will try to run this file. Hope it is running. So it is also not running. Now in that case, there are two options. Generally, because you closed the application, you created the new application. Now this stop button is also not working. So there is this option that relaunch it. So you can try to relaunch the project. So now it is relaunching, right? Relaunching is also not working. When relaunching is not working, you have two simple option: restart IDE, and second is kill 8080 using command prompt. Using command prompt. This option I will teach you some other day because again it will be out of topic. So better to restart our IDE. If that is also not working, then obviously we have to teach you how to kill 8080. You know how to kill any port number using command prompt? Using Eclipse. How? No, no, you can say. Why to laugh in this? Huh? Servlet. No, no, not servlet. That is different. So let's try this time. So directly I will try it with second Spring Boot project. So let's try to run it. So again, it is telling the same problem that port 8080 was already in use. So you go to your browser, any browser, Edge, Chrome, doesn't matter. Just try to type localhost colon 8080, localhost colon 8080. Hit enter. Now, if you are getting this thing, white label error page means your port is running. This 8080 is running. Now, in that case, try to open any other port. Let's say I will open localhost colon 8081. So when you are trying to open 8081, it will say this site can't be reached. But on 8080, it is telling white label error page. It means our 8080 is running. It's not getting closed. Now we have to close it manually. So within the same file, or let's say here I will say how to kill. I will give this particular picture to you. Don't worry. How to kill port number, or how to kill any port number using command prompt. So this is the question. For this, I will show you. So what I will do is I will open command prompt here and run it as administrator. So here you can see my command prompt is running and it is running as administrator. Now in this, you have to type a command, that is net stat. Again, no need to write it down now only. I will give you this. Don't worry. So you have to type a command, that is netstat minus ANO, that or symbol, find str space colon whatever port number you want to kill. Let's say I want to kill 8080. So I will write 8080. Now you will get these kind of things, right? You are getting, you means we are getting these kind of thing. This is called PID, port ID 2564. It can be different for Shrikar, don't write. See, if I am saying something and you are not listening, that you will type wrong thing. I am saying that when you are doing this command, let's say I will check the same command for 8081 port number. You got something? Because 8081 is not running. Let's check it for 5173. Getting something? No, we are not getting because this port number is not running. Here I will say 8080 and we got these two things. Generally, you will get TCP. This TCP means transmission control protocol, means which rules are followed by this. It can follow TCP IP. It is following TCP. It can follow SSL TLS. Again, computer networks I am not teaching here. Then you will get port address, port IP address, port type, and then at last you will get PID. This is called PID, port identity. So what is the port identity in my case? 2564. It can be different for you. Now, second command you have to type. So I will say task kill. I am saying what? Task kill. After saying task kill, you have to keep a forward slash and type PID and space whatever PID you are getting. What PID I am getting? 2564. Type that 2564 space forward slash then F. Hit enter. And you will see one success message. The process with PID 2564 has been terminated. Now again I will try to check 8080. So again I will open a new tab and say localhost colon 8080, and this time we are getting this site can't be reached. Reached or opened, it means that you have killed, because in Eclipse we were not getting the kill option, so we killed it outside. So these are the steps. You have to change this PID with whatever PID you are getting. I'm getting 2564. I have written that. If you are getting 99,000, write that. These are the steps. So what you have to do? These are the steps. Open command prompt. Open command prompt and run it as administrator. And after that, this is what you have to do. Okay. One note here. Change 2564 with the ID that is visible for you. With the ID that is visible for you. Now you understood how to kill any particular port number with the help of command prompt. Killing port number. Now we will try to rerun our project because now 8080 is not running. And this time, boom, we are not getting any error, because when this project was trying to run, 8080 was not running. And now again if we go there and hit refresh, so again we got white label error page, means it is running, right? If I am trying to run the project again without stopping this server, so click on run button and again you will get the same error, application failed to start. So this is the problem with you whenever you are trying to do. So again we will go to command prompt. Generally now it is available in Eclipse also, stop button, but go to command prompt, type this net state space hyphen ano space or symbol space find str colon whichever port number you want to kill. And this time what is the PID? 8244. It can change. Then type this command, that is task kill slash PID, and here you have to type the ID that you are getting. In case I am getting 8244 and hit enter. Success. Now in Eclipse it is showing closed. And this is how you create Spring Boot project using this method. Running fine, no error. Now what we will do, inside the same project we will create a new class, new Java class. Here we will create a class for employee, just to check the working of container in this project. We are not doing anything else. So in this employee class, I will mark my employee as a component. See, these are the initial days of your Spring. Now you have full authority to ask me a question that why you are writing component here. But on the passing time and with the period of time, you should be able to understand it. That I have kept component, what does it mean? So what does it mean if I have kept at the rate of component here? This class is converted to a Java bean now, which will managed by container. Employee will have two basic thing, private int employee ID. I'm keeping private here again and again. You can keep public also. Public int emp ID, public public string name. So when these two fields are public, now we don't need getter setters. We can directly use them outside. So in here, I will create the container. So I will say application context container equals to, and I will keep this statement equals to my container. It is showing error, so you can import the class for it, right? So control shift O, and here it is optimizing the import. Today Eclipse is lagging so much. Let me slow down some of the memory. Control shift O. It's taking time to add the package also. Stupid. No, if Eclipse is getting stuck, it is just because your system might become slow, and actually working of Eclipses depend on lot of factors. Generally within class, Eclipse get lagged. And the reason is here we use this connector to connect the screen with the projector, and that creates some virus and all, so it becomes slow down. If normally you are using it and you have connected your earphones, charger, or Bluetooth, it is possible. Let me just close it. There is no other option. See, it is lagging because here 81% of the memory is already used by it in running. So we'll just end the task here so that it is having some free space. Now we will open Eclipse again. If you are your Eclipse also got stuck, so there is a trick to fix it. Just type this thing Control plus Alt plus Delete button. After this, open Task Manager. After opening the Task Manager, you will see Eclipse option. Right click. After doing right click, you will see one option End Task or Kill Task, End Task, like that. And it will fix your problem. So again, we will try to initialize the container, that is application context container, and I will keep this command of spring application dot run equals to my container like this. Just press Ctrl S so that it can save it. After that, as this employee class is already marked, so second is Spring Boot. This employee class is already marked as a component. So now we are thinking that we should get the bean of employee class. So I will create that. I will say employee equals to container dot get bean of employee dot class. Employee dot class. Now these two fields are public field. They are not private. It means no security is going on into them. I can directly try to say e dot employee ID equals to 101 like this. Now this is not a setter getter method. So I am directly saying e dot employee ID equals to. I'm not calling any getter setter method. After that, e dot name equals to Shivam. Keeping semicolon is mandatory here. So this is a one employee that we have created using container. What if I'm trying to print the employees detail as getter setter methods are not there? So how we have to print e dot empid plus with some space then plus e dot name. Now we don't have to use get name and all those because those methods are not there. We are creating the object of this employee class using the container. We are expecting that we will get the values. So yes, we got the values 101 and Shubham. So this is how you create a Spring Boot project using STS plugin. There is one more method and still we have time to discuss. So we will discuss that. Understood this method? Understood this method? If there is any sense of doubt somewhere, I'll check it out. No doubt. Shall we move forward to third method then? Okay. Cut, cut. So this is the first Spring Boot. This is second Spring Boot. First was using website. Second one is using plugin. Third one, we'll go to first their notes, Spring Boot, April, 12th April. Creating Spring Boot project using Maven approach. Now, this is a type which will teach you the meaning of everything because Maven project does not come with everything. So creating a Spring Boot project using Maven. So we will see in this part, we are going to discuss about creating a Spring Boot project using Maven. Now, just a small heading or definition about Maven. What is Maven? So Maven is a software project management tool. It generally it generally gives us the pom.xml file due to which we can add the dependency and we do not need to add jar files manually like for downloading jar files and then adding, because in case of Spring Boot we can't add all the jar files. They are around 30, 40, 50, 60. It's not possible to download all the jar files. So let's see what we will do. So in Eclipse, at first what you have to do, go to file, after file go to new and then go to Maven project. What? Maven project. So here file, new and Maven project. So when you are clicking on Maven project, you will go like this. Just click on next and here you have to select archetype. So by on which archetype we are working? Quick start. So just select the quick start archetype. Now what is this archetype? This that already we have discussed. So just click on next. Same thing I will mention that click on next click on next and select catalog as internal. Select catalog as internal and archetype as quick start. After doing so, you will get like this new Maven project and where you can do the things. Group ID, I will keep com.springboot. Artifact ID, I will keep as third Spring Boot, means project name, third Spring Boot, and package name and group ID, I will keep same. So I will remove like this. So in the next step, write your group ID, artifact ID, and package and click finish. What you have to do? You have to click on finish. That's it. As we are creating Maven project, so it gives us a confirmation. So that is in the next step. In the console, press Y and hit enter. So here it is asking for you for your yes. So keep Y and hit enter. And your project is created here. So here we are getting this project, third Spring Boot. Here in bracket, we are not getting boot, right? Here in this, we are not getting boot. It means that till now it is a normal Java project. See src main Java with the package in app.java, which is just printing a message, hello world. No Spring Boot class, no Spring application dot run, nothing is there. If nothing is there, it means that you have to build everything. Server is running, so I will close this and open. And but pom.xml file you will get. You will get the pom.xml file where dependencies section you will get, where you can add dependencies, right? So in that case, what we have to do? Let me write it. After this, we will get one Maven project, which is just a normal Java project. Now we will convert this Maven project to a Spring Boot project. Okay, I have one small question. If you remember the task topic, for converting a Maven project to core Spring, what we were doing? Adding the dependency of Spring Core. Now I am saying that I will convert it to Spring Boot, because if we converted our project to Spring Boot, Spring Core also will come. Then what is the dependency of Spring Boot? So for that, there is a website. What is the website name? MVN repository to check the dependency. Here you search Spring Boot, right? Spring Boot. So when you are searching Spring Boot, you will get option, but you will get lot of option. Spring Boot starter test, Spring Boot starter web, Spring Boot auto configure, Spring Boot configuration processor, Spring Boot starter, Spring Boot. But we don't know which one we have to choose. No problem. I'm telling you. So what you have to do is, in the pom.xml file, add the dependency of Last time, which dependency we were using while generating the project from website? Let's say you are generating one Spring Boot project from website. So in this dependency, which dependency we were using? Spring Web, like this. So there also you have to add the dependency of Spring Boot or Starter Web. Spring Starter Web. So now you can search this, or complete name I should write Spring Boot Starter Web. Now this is just a name. I will tell you starter, and this is a new topic. So go to the website and search Spring Boot Starter Web. Just search here and you will get this Spring Boot Starter Web. Select it. 3.4.4 version. Same. I will open this. This is the dependency. Copy and paste it in the dependencies section. Till now I have not saved the file. Before saving the file, check the Maven dependencies. How many jar files are there? Only one, that too of JUnit. JUnit is for testing. Save the file. Once saved the file, we got these many jar files, and these jar files are required to Spring Boot. Here we got Jackson. From Spring we got Spring AOP, Spring Bean, Spring Boot, Auto Configure, Starter, Starter JSON, Spring Context, Spring Core, Spring Web, Web MVC. We got everything, because Spring Core is the backbone. Without it will not work. But when you are adding this dependency, even in notes also I am giving you, so that you are not having any confusion. So this is the dependency. Just you can copy paste it from this also, or you can go to website. So here we got all the jar files. And now in bracket, what is visible? After this third Spring Boot project, in bracket, what is visible? Boot. What does it mean? This project is converted to a Spring Boot project. Got it? So sure. But till now, if I run this, now it is asking me to run how I want to run it. So I will select Spring Boot app, but don't select Spring Boot app because it will not run. So let me select Spring Boot app and click OK. And here it is printing hello world. Now you will say that it is running. Now you will say that it is running, but I will say it is not running. The reason is, whenever a Spring Boot application is starting, it will give its identity in the form of logo. Spring logo will come. Now for that, as this is a normal Java class, we have to convert it to a Spring class. For that, open, in the next step, what we have to do, open src main Java and open app.java, because the file name is app.java. So open this third Spring Boot project, src main Java and app.java. Same file is opened here. Now the first thing that we have to do is annotate the class with @ Spring Boot application. Again, I am saying that what is the meaning of this annotation? All these things we will discuss, but first you should understand the methods of creating project. So over the class, I will keep that annotation, that is Spring Boot application, right? You can import the package as well. imported. Okay, imported. The class is annotated with the Spring Boot application annotation. In the second step, what you have to do, remove the system dot out dot println hello world, because by default it is written there, so you can remove it. While removing, now what we have to do, in the next step, write spring application dot run. What you have to write, spring application dot run. This is a method to run Spring Boot application. So here I have written spring application dot run. What I have written, spring application dot run. When I have written here spring application dot run, it is throwing error, because you should give one class to this run method, and now that class will be treated as the main class of Spring. Now, as I don't have any other class, I have this app class only. So I will say Spring application dot run app dot class. What I'm saying, Spring application dot run app dot class. Now I will try to start the application. So let's start. And here we got the Springs logo, and project is running at all fine. There is no error. So what I am doing, Spring application dot run app dot class, Spring S capital, application A capital, Spring application dot run. In that you can give a class, you can provide some argument but not necessary. So this is a Spring Boot project. Now again we will close the server, we'll start it again. So here you have to write Spring application dot run app dot class. This is what we have to write. Spring application dot run app dot class. After that, run your application. And these are the three methods of creating a Spring Boot application. Now you can do these three things using IntelliJ also. Complete option is there. You can do these three things using NetBeans also. Different IDE, but purpose is same. Way is same. Only three way. There also you have to install the STS plugin. Here also. There also first you have to create Maven project and all, do all these things. Here also. Same folder structure and all you will get. Right? So these are the three methods of creating Spring Boot application, and we have discussed all three. Now there are some possible common errors. First is application failed to start. 8080 was already in use. Now I have told you 2-3 methods for it. First, you can try to stop the server from here. If this option is not working, I have told you this one, killing port number. I will give this photograph like this. So you can read this one, right? You can read this one, how to kill, and it will work. Second type of error is not able to find or load class main. Now, if you are getting this error can come because of 2-3 different scenarios. First very scenario is Eclipse version is old. Eclipse version is old. First reason. Second reason is you have created project with Java version 21 and the JDK installed in your system is less than 21. So either you can use 17, but you should be on at least JDK 17 to use Spring Boot without any error. Now try to update your Eclipse IDE or try to update your JDK. This error will move away. If you are still getting the error, then there is the code problem. Then I will check your code. First, you try these two things. There is no third error. While creating the project, there will not be a third error. Only these two error, and these are the ways. Now, if you have any question regarding the Spring Boot project creation using three methods, you can ask. See, now you have tomorrow's time. It's no class tomorrow. Sunday is there. Take proper time. I'm not asking you to spend 2 hour, 3 hour. Just spend good half hour in this by creating project, right? Follow the documentation, create the I'm today also, I will not give you zip file. You have to create by your own, because only project we are creating. If I'm doing some logic, then you can change. I can give you the zip file, but as of now, not needed. If you have any question, go ahead. No, it is not mandatory that Eclipse should be of uh, latest version. But if your Eclipse is of latest version, there is high possibility that you will get less error. So I am giving you all the three things. You can follow them and just fine, guys. We'll connect again on Monday. Have a nice weekend, everyone.